everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Conversations That Connect Us. And I have a very special guest with me today, and her name is Laura Rinnankoski. We just practiced that. Laura Rinnankoski. So I'm just putting that out there that I actually got it right the first time. So it's pretty impressed with myself. But Laura is a fellow author in our book that's going to be released this coming Friday. So whenever you're watching this, our launch date is September the 23rd. But Laura, welcome to the podcast. And where are you at the moment?
Hi, Jennifer. Thank you. Thank you so much. It's so great. It's so great to be here on your podcast. Right now, I'm in Dublin, Ireland, but I'm not from Ireland. I'm from all over the place, really. But yeah, I live in Ireland. Yeah.
Yes. Well, and that's the place that I aspire to be at some point. I originally thought I was like 99% Irish and 1% German. Come to find out through ancestry.com, I'm like 24% Irish. And then the rest of me is Norwegian, Danish, and I think that was it. So no, there wasn't even a German dot in there. So I'm not exactly sure where that came from.
Well, you have to come to Ireland. You have to come to Ireland. It's a great place. So
it is absolutely.
I can show you around. Lots to see and do here.
Yes, we are making it. My husband promised me. We've already been to Italy and we've been to where he's from. We've been to Canada, and he promised me now it's time to start knocking out my countries. So
Nice.
I will be to Ireland, and I will make sure that you know that we're going to be there. But
cool.
I'm excited to have you on today, and we're just going to dive right in because there's a lot of information that you have to share. There's a lot of information that I want to share about you to everybody who's watching this. But why don't you tell us a little bit more about yourself, what you do? We obviously know where you live. But why don't you tell us where you're from? So go right ahead.
Sure. Thanks, Jennifer. So I was born in Finland. When I was 5 months old, my family moved to Venezuela. So I grew up in Venezuela. And I went to international American schools. So I have the American accent and everybody thinks I'm American. People always ask me, what part of the States are you from? All the time. And I'm like, I'm Finnish, Venezuelan, and I live in Dublin. And then they get really confused. Then I studied university in Boston. I went to Boston University, which is actually, it's very Irish. It's very Irish. And when I was in Boston, if somebody would have told me that I would live in Ireland one day, I'd be like, there's no way. And, here I am. So after Boston, I lived in Miami as well. Miami's like the capital of South America. And, since I grew up in Venezuela, I'm very Latina. I know I don't look Latina, but I am, and I speak Spanish like a Venezuelan, and I have a very Venezuelan accent. It sounds like I left Venezuela like yesterday, even though I haven't been back in a very, very long time. And now I live here in Dublin, Ireland. And I'm a life and a relationship coach. So I love helping people with their relationships, and the most important relationship is the one that you have with yourself, right?
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, what made you say yes to coming onto this podcast with me?
Well, obviously, you and your great, your great personality. But no, I love. I've done a lot of interviews. I've actually done a lot of radio. I had a radio show myself here in Dublin, and I've done so many radio interviews. I lost count of how many radio interviews I've done. But I love talking. I love connecting. So when you told me about your podcast, like it just felt right away. I was like, yeah, that sounds great, So yeah.
If you came on and you spoke English, we were going to be fine.
Exactly.
Started going off and speaking something that I did not understand, I would just be like, I'm just going to sit here and you just go right ahead.
Yeah.
Well, there's been a lot of really exciting things going on in your life. I know we've got the book again that we're going to be launching, but
yes,
there have been some awards that you've gotten, some places you've been featured. So can you just tell us what's been going on in the exciting life of Laura right now?
Yeah, my God. Yeah, seriously. My life is very exciting at the moment. And you know how it is that sometimes you go through stages in life that nothing happens, and then one thing happens and everything happens at once. Well, 2022 has been like the most incredible year with the most amazing opportunities. But, you know, it's been one of those things, like it hasn't happened overnight. You know, like I can say, you know, like my story is an overnight success story that took 15 years. You know? Overnight success, 15 years. Overnight success. But yeah, this year, everything is blooming and everything is happening at the same time. You know, one of the, you know, a lot of things in my life happen in threes, right? My birthday is 3/3, the 3rd of March. And 3 is like my number. And many times, you know, things happen in threes in my life. And again, you know, it's like this week is a week of threes. So, so I've just updated my English and my Spanish websites. Okay. So, yeah, I have my English website and now the Spanish website as well, which I'm really excited about. And then one of the awards that I got the Korea Global Awards from Brains Magazine because I'm one of the executive contributors of Brains Magazine. And this award, you know, it was given to you know, several people and a lot of famous people like Richard Branson and Leonardo DiCaprio. So I feel like I won the Oscar. You know? I feel like I won the Oscar. I mean, to say that I got the same award as Leo was just like, you know, Laura and Leo. You know, like it feels a bit surreal. You know, it feels a bit surreal, but really amazing. You know, really amazing at the same time. You know. And then another opportunity that came to me, and it's happening this week as well, is that CXO Outlook magazine, they're doing a global edition of the top 10 most inspiring transformational coaches of 2022. And I'm going to be featured in this edition. And I literally just did a photo shoot 2 days ago because I needed new pictures. I needed new pictures for this article. So those are 3 huge things, you know, that are happening in my life now. So really exciting time.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Yeah. And for those of you who don't know Laura yet, I encourage you to go out and I'm going to put information about her website and how to connect with her. But I think it's the new necklace.
You know, well, you know, I think you know that I like my necklaces, right?
But you got this new one that's just a really cool, and I think that there's just something gravitating toward those necklaces over there.
You know what? I think you're right. I think you're right. You know, because this one is called my Diva necklace because I got it from a store called Diva. Not because I'm a diva. The store is called Diva. So yeah, this is my Diva necklace. But I think maybe you're talking. I don't know if you're talking about this necklace. I have a Cleopatra necklace, which is like the Egyptian. Yeah, you're talking about the Cleopatra necklace. Yeah, that necklace is really special, and it was designed especially for me by a jewelry designer in Lithuania. Imagine, like, so it's super special. And yeah, like I love Egypt. I have a huge connection to Egypt. And yeah, that necklace has just, you know, brought, yeah, I think, you know, it's definitely been a part, you know, of all this amazing abundance that's in my life right now.
So now you have to go out and connect with her just to see her necklace.
And I have a collection of necklaces because I have a collection.
This one here, friends of mine were just in Egypt, and they brought back my name, and they brought back all of these like different oils, and one of them is like this magic. It's like you're I think it's like if you wear it, your wishes are granted.
Wow.
And so you have to use it sparingly, unless I send them back to Egypt to get me more, because it's like this little. So it's like every once in a while I'm like, okay.
Like, okay.
Waiting for it to happen.
Wow, I'm getting, like, you're telling me the story and I'm literally getting like goosebumps, or cosmic goosebumps as I call them. I think I need some of that magic oil.
Yes. I'll just send you a picture of them. They brought back 3 different ones, and
wow.
They're in these really pretty little bottles right from pyramids. And I'm like, you know,
wow.
There was a period of time where I wanted to be like a curator. I studied hieroglyphics. Like
wow.
all of this stuff, you know, in much younger life. And yeah. I just have this connection to Egypt.
Me too. Oh my God. We might have a past life
related in a past life or something. I don't know. We can talk about that another time.
That's another show. That's another show.
But next question I want to ask you is, what has been your biggest obstacle that you've had to face, whether it's in your life or your career, that you've had to kind of overcome? And what have you learned from it? And are you using that now to kind of help other people?
Yes, that's a really good question. And actually, one of the biggest obstacles that I've had to face is health challenges. And I actually write about those health challenges in the book.
Okay.
Like, yeah. And I mean, I went through 4 huge things at the same time, right? Because usually when you have health challenges, you have one big thing, right? No, I like to do things, in a big way, right?
3s or 4s.
Like, it wasn't even 3, it was 4. So I even went beyond the 3, right? Yeah. So 4 big health challenges. Like, I mean, it was really tough. It was really tough. And there were moments where I was just like, how can I get through this? But that saying, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Absolutely.
It really does. It really does. Yeah.
Well,
and it changes you as a person because, your health is something that you really take for granted until you don't have it, right? Until something happens, right? So I literally, every day, I'm so thankful, that I made it through that time. And that I'm so much stronger now. I'm so much stronger now than before. I think of myself as before and after, because it was 2 years that was just really tough, really tough. I mean, I spent most of my time in a hospital those 2 years, So yeah, that changes you as a person. It really does.
Oh, it sure does. And I can't, I think a lot of people who are watching the book Ready to Come Out assume that we know what each other's stories are. And I don't know, I'm learning your story now. And
exactly.
I can't read about it. And I've had some of the other authors on here as well. But, I think there's things you're right. There's things that we go through in life, because even in my chapters about what I recently went through, and you have choices. You can use it and learn from it and make your life better, or you could stay in the hospital, in that bed, do whatever, and just be angry at the world.
Exactly. And I write about that. I'm getting cosmic goosebumps the whole time that you're talking, because that's exactly what I write about. That's exactly what I write about. And I write about, the choices, right? We always have a choice no matter what happens to you in life, right? Because a lot of people, I'm a very happy and positive person, right? So a lot of people say to me, wow, how can you be so happy and positive? Has nothing bad ever happened to you? I'm like, actually, the opposite is true. Actually, I've been through stuff. I've been through a lot more than most people have, right? Mm-hmm. But the thing is that you have a choice, right? If I wanted to, I could be the most bitter, most upset, most pissed off person in the world. I could be like, you know what? It's so unfair. Why did all this have to happen to me and poor me? And I could be the biggest victim if I wanted to. But then I chose to use everything that I went through to help people on a completely different scale.
Well, and I am right there with you, because it literally is. I think going through what you go through in life, and it trains you for how you need to spend the next few days or the next year or the next rest of your life. It trains you up to be ready for that. And, I think, again, not knowing your full story, but just my own perspective is, you realize how short life is. You realize how it can change in an instant. And if you're not making good use of your time and your talents and your ability to help other people, then you're just wasting your time here. You know what I mean? It's just, we're just passing through.
Exactly.
Just passing through. But yeah, I look forward to reading the rest of your story. But what has been an insult in your life that you have received that you're the most proud of?
Wow, that's wow. You know what? Kudos to you for having creative questions, right? Nobody has ever
asked compliments. It's easy to say, "Oh, I got this compliment."
Exactly. Come on, Jenny. I get compliments all the time. Insults, come on. So the best. Sorry. So what was the question again? The insult.
What is the insult that you have received that you're the most proud of?
The insult that I've received that I'm the most proud of. Wow.
God, I stumped the coach.
Yeah, seriously, yeah, exactly. You silenced me. Yeah, exactly. I think I think somebody told me that I was too nice. You know, that I was like too nice or like too kind or too nice, you know? And especially like somebody that has like, you know, that has like a more like harsh approach to life in a way, you know? And I mean, I think you know, when this person told me that I was being too nice, and I'm like, listen, you're gonna get more out of people and out of life, you know, by being nice and kind. You know, like you can be strong and kind at the same time. You know, like you don't because some people think that, you know, if you're strong, then you're not nice, right? But you can be strong and kind at the same time, which is my case. I mean, I'm very strong, but I'm also nice. Like I treat people, you know, I treat people well. And I mean, I've seen, you know, throughout, you know, my life experience, you know, throughout my personal experience and professional experience, you know, that you will get more out of people when you're kind and nice to them, not when you put them down or you treat them bad. You know, I don't see any point in that, you know? So yeah, being too nice. Don't be so nice.
But you know, you're right. I think that in the world that we live in, and I've even noticed it too, when you're nice to people now, they almost don't know what to do. Like they don't know how to respond, because they're either waiting for the left hook that's going to come out and knock them off, or they're just not accustomed to it. Because we just live in a world where people are fighting, and there's all kinds of stuff that when you are nice to somebody nowadays, it's far more recognizable than it was before.
That's true. That's true.
People don't expect it.
Yeah, but that's why I think that we can all, you know, we can all do our part, right? And put our little grain of sand, right? Like to change the world and to make the world a better place, right? To move away from all that division, you know, that's happening right now.
Well, and it's good to know that there's people like us that are out there trying to do that, like make that difference. Like just, even if it's a small thing, even if it's an insult, even if it's, you know, you're just trying to be you in a world where people are kind of afraid to be who they are. It's
exactly,
you know, you have this constant mask on. What do you think people misunderstand about you the most?
Well, it's funny. I think it comes back to, again, like being nice. I don't think they understand how incredibly strong I am as well, because of everything that I've gone through, you know, because everything that I've gone through, like you can't read it on my face. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't read like on my face, because because I've made the choices of, you know, of really enjoying life and being grateful for life, and not being, you know, a pissed off, you know, resentful victim, which I could have been, right? I could have been, you know, so you can't see it on my face. So I think that people don't realize how strong and resilient I am. I think, you know, because I am nice and kind, right? And because I'm very empathic and compassionate, as well. So yeah, they definitely don't realize how strong and resilient I am. So
again, this is a reason to read the book.
Exactly.
Read her book so you can find out what her story is.
Yes.
Those of you who know me kind of know what my story is, but I think there's a certain level of vulnerability that we have. And I know for me, at least, being vulnerable I was taught that it wasn't a place of being strong.
Right.
I was told that if you were vulnerable, you were weak, people were going to take advantage of you and all. But I think, you know, you have to be vulnerable to find the strong moments in which you can kind of stand out there and say, you know what? Yes, I'm putting myself out there to the world. I mean, we are in a collective effort to put ourselves out there to the world, to be kind of standing there naked, like, hey, this is what makes us tick. This is how we move forward. We have chosen to make our lives better. We have chosen to take our challenges and our life experiences and kind of teach other people, you know? Exactly. So, I mean, I think Quiet and Badass is a great example of, you know, there's that kind of quiet, I don't know, difference between the two, but there's a lot. They always said, I think growing up, my parents were always like, you got to be quiet. You have to worry about the quiet ones. You know what I mean? They're the ones that are in the background, I think, that are really changing the world. Personally, I feel that way.
Yeah. But you don't strike me as you strike me as quiet as I am, right? Because, like, I don't think we're definitely badasses, but we're not quiet. Right?
I would always say, and I had this conversation with Jenny, I'm like, so you want me to be in a book and I'm really not quiet, Yeah,
I had the same conversation with her as well.
But I think I think where we might be quiet is we're observant of everything. You kind of sit back and you look at the world, or you look at your you look at situations and you say, okay, what can I take from this? And that quietness kind of comes from us we're just looking at the lay of the land. We're looking how we're going to turn this around and make it a better thing. So I kind of signed up for the badass part because I already realized that.
Exactly. Me too.
So you have a lot of things that are going wonderful for you right now. And my husband's birthday is the same birthday as yours.
Really? The 3rd of March? No way. Really? Well, listen to this, Jenny. I don't think you know this. I almost married an Italian that has exactly the same birthday as me, but not the same year. Imagine 3-3, and then we were together 3 years, 3 months, and 3 days. Like, how crazy is that? So I kind of felt like, I mean, he's definitely a soulmate, right? But I believe that we have several like soulmates, right? And we teach each other big lessons and all of that, But it kind of felt like it was destiny, like, to be together like that time. But how crazy is that? Like, that we have the same birthday. We were 3-3, and then we were together 3 years, 3 months, and 3 days. But yeah. He's Italian as well, which is really funny.
My husband is 3-3-68, and I know that you're not as old as he is.
Yeah, exactly. I am younger. Yes.
If we would have come on here and we had a love for Egypt, and we had, a strong necklace game, and you were born on the same day as my husband, we may have like it would have been a totally different conversation. We are definitely connected here somehow.
Yeah, there's definitely a connection here. Yes. We have to go to Egypt together now.
Yeah, we do. We absolutely have to go to Egypt. But I started off saying, before I went in a totally different direction, that you have a lot of great things going on in your life right now. Just a lot of the stars are aligned, and the
stars are definitely aligned.
Are like crazy. But what is your biggest challenge right now that you're facing, and how are you tackling it? Are you kind of using your inner badass, or what are you facing right now, and how are you overcoming?
But my biggest challenge right now is having time to do everything, right? Because I'm so incredibly busy, and like all these amazing opportunities are coming to me all the time that, it's like, now I'm like, I think I do need like a personal assistant, like it's getting to that point. Like, I think I need some help, juggling everything. But yeah, that's a great challenge to have, right? Like, to be so busy that you're just like, wow, like, sometimes I'm like, can there be more hours in the day? Can there be more hours in the day? And I mean, I wake up really early. I mean, I wake up like at 6:30. So I'm like the early bird of like the early birds, I don't sleep enough. I should sleep more. But there's just so much happening, there's so much happening.
Well, and you kind of shared a little bit at the very beginning of what you do, but I want you to just kind of explain to people who might be watching this, that they go, well, she's in Ireland, she can't help me. But kind of explain what you do, the process that you take your clients through, and if people can connect with you who don't live in Ireland.
You can. I mean, I have clients all over the world, and now, during lockdown, everything was online, right? Everything was online. So I lived online, right? Like, I was giving sessions and giving talks and giving courses and everything online. So yeah, I'm like an expert when it comes to Zoom. So yeah, I have clients all over the world, and because I'm a life and relationship coach, a lot of people come to me, because they want to improve their relationships, right? And many times they come to me because they want to find a relationship. But I always tell them, okay, the first relationship that we're going to look at is the one with yourself, right? Because everything begins and ends with you, right? So, there's several steps, and I actually have a course called Breakthrough to Love. Breakthrough to Love is a course that I designed where I incorporate everything that I've learned, about the self-love journey, right? The self-love journey. I mean, it's all about, learning, self-love, self-acceptance, all the selves, right? Nobody else can give you, self-love, self-worth, self-acceptance, all the selves. So you truly have to love and accept yourself before you can share that with anybody else, or for anybody else to love and accept you. And of course, there's forgiveness, there's letting go. I mean, it's a 6-week course, right? It's a 6-week course, so there's a lot. There's a lot to it. But one of the things that I look at, with a new client is I look at what kind of stories are they telling themselves, right? Like what kind of stories are they telling themselves about them, about men, about women, about relationships in general, right? And it's amazing because when you start looking at those stories, so many times those stories are incredibly negative, as well as the self-talk, right? I ask them, well, is your self-talk, is it mostly negative or is it mostly positive? If it's mostly positive, great. Keep on telling yourself all the great stuff that you're telling yourself. But if it's mostly negative, you have to find a way to turn it around, right? And it's amazing because most people are not conscious and aware of these things, right? They just keep on recycling the same negative thoughts every day, right? Every day, the same thoughts over and over in their minds. And they don't realize how all this negativity, all these negative thoughts and all these negative stories are creating their life, right? And are creating their life experiences and are attracting people, events, and circumstances into their life to validate all of these negative beliefs and thoughts that they have, right? So that's one of the first things that you need to, first of all, become aware of, and then find a way to turn it around. So that's where I start. That's where I start with them. And then, of course, every case is different. Every person is different. And then, of course, it's tailored. It's tailored, to the person, how we move forward. But yeah, I give sessions on Zoom all the time.
And you coach in?
Yes, I coach in English, Spanish, Finnish, and Italian. Yeah. Italian, what languages that you're going to learn, Jennifer?
I'm so glad that at the moment you're speaking English. That makes me
right.
I'm at peace. And then as I start learning Italian, that I promise my husband and relatives that I will learn.
Yeah, you can practice with your Italian with me then.
Yes.
And then you can say Laura, like in Italian, like my name. I even have an Italian name, Laura, And like when I'm in Italy, I feel like I'm home. Talking about past lives, I've had past lives there as well.
I've had several past lives there. But I always tell my husband, I'm like, I either was alive at the time of Cleopatra, I was in her court, or I was in her tribe somewhere.
Yeah.
Or I was a tree. I have obsessions with trees. I have I just love trees. So Cleopatra, trees.
Okay, you were probably exactly, probably both things, right?
Or I was a tree outside of where Cleopatra was. I don't know.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking. Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Well, how can what's the one thing that you hope that people take away from us just having this conversation today?
Yeah. Well, I hope one thing that I always want to do is motivate and inspire people. Motivate and inspire people that no matter what you're going through, it will pass. It will pass. Take it, day by day. And, there's always light at the end of the tunnel, because I have been in some really dark, black holes myself. So I know what it's like. I know what it's like to feel like, like I can't get out of this black hole. Like things are so bad that I can't go forward. But there's always a way. There's always a way forward, and there's always a lot of learning as well. You know, you learn so much from these difficult moments. And then what you learn in that moment helps you move forward. So yeah, I want people to be inspired and motivated, you know, to keep on going no matter what's happening in your life right now. And I know that right now the world is a little crazy. There's a lot of challenges. There's a lot of division. There's a lot of uncertainty right now. So I want people to remember how incredibly powerful they are. They have like this incredible inner strength within them. You know, the inner badass, as you called it. You know, everybody has an inner badass. You know, that will help you move on. You know, so yeah. So I think it's helpful. I think it's helpful to hear from somebody that has gone through huge challenges and has gone into the other side. You know.
Well, and I try always to instill with my clients kind of the same way that you are. Like, the sun rises every morning. Now,
yes.
I live in the mountains, and sometimes we have spectacular sunrises, and sometimes they're hidden behind clouds. But
yeah,
sun still rises every day.
Yes,
and you have to take advantage of growing through what you're going through. And
yes.
I think that's so important because, again, life is all about choices. You can get up every morning and, you know, choose to be really just pissed off that day or positive and outgoing. You know, I mean, it's all about choices. And I think that, you know, there needs to be more people, I think more women too, that are comfortable coming out and saying, you know, you're responsible for your decisions. You're responsible for how your life turns out. You're responsible for how your story ends. We all wake up, you know, and every woman has a story. Ours are going to be shared very publicly, you know, but we all have a story. And if you wake up one day and you don't like how your story is going, write a different ending.
Exactly. Change it.
You
can always change your story. That's one thing that I tell my clients all the time, you know?
Always. Yep.
You can always change your story.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, as we get ready to wrap up, how can people connect with you? Now, if you're listening to this and you're driving and you don't have to write it down, I'm going to make sure all the information is available, but how can people connect with you?
Yeah, exactly. Well, my email is lauracoaching@gmail.com. So that's a really easy one to remember.
Thank goodness it wasn't you putting your last name in there.
I know, but my website does have my last name in it, right? So my website is Laura Rinnankoski, and Rinnankoski is spelled RINNANKOSKI.com. That's my website, and I'm on Facebook as well. And I'm the only Laura Rinnankoski in the world, so it's very easy to find me. It's very easy you could just Google me, and you'll find me.
And I was on your website, so people they can book with you online. They can purchase your breakthrough.
Yes.
It's Breakthrough to Love, right?
Breakthrough to Love. Yes. Breakthrough to Love. Yes. You can book a session with me online. You know, you can, and you can buy the course as well. Yes.
And for those of you who are listening, you think, well, she's in Dublin, I'm in New York or Georgia. It didn't take but 2 seconds for us to sync up our calendars. Like
exactly. Yes.
Right now, it's what time there? It's 6.
It's 6:38 here. Yeah.
And we started at 1:00 here in Eastern.
Yeah.
So don't let that be a deterrent. You know, it's funny about Zoom. People can't use that excuse anymore that I don't want to sit in traffic. I don't want to have to. You know what? Just get dressed from the waist up. You know, I've taught my Zoom clients, like, I don't care if you have nothing on. As long as from what I can see of you, it's still presentable.
Exactly. Yeah. And like, I'm always calculating time differences. Like, that's like second nature to me.
Not to me, but I'm glad it is for you. But again, it only took but 2 seconds to figure it out. But
yeah,
Laura, thank you so much for taking time today to hop on from Dublin and have this conversation. I would encourage everybody, go out, check her out. She's just a wealth of information. She can speak to you in
any of your languages, any of the 4 languages. Pick your language.
Pick your language, pick your poison, just pick it. some time to talk with her. And Laura, again, thank you so much for coming on. I'm excited about our book launch. I'm excited to hear about your story. And again, just thanks for hopping on here with us.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Jennifer. I really enjoyed this. Thank you.
Me too. And I will definitely look you up when we come to Ireland, because we are coming.
Definitely. Yes.
We're coming. As long as you promise me in English, I'll be there.
Everybody talks English here.
Well, I just need to know, where's the pub?
Oh, listen, there's pubs around every corner here. Like here, you give directions according to pubs. Like seriously, you give directions with pubs here.
Oh my gosh, sign me up, on my way. Well, until the next time that we come back with another episode of Conversations That Connect Us, thank you everybody so much. If you have a story you want to share and a platform that you want to share it from, please reach out to me. Go to talkwithjennifer.com, schedule time to come on. And again, thank you, Laura. I can't wait to see you in person.
Yeah, me too, definitely. Bye.
Take care.